Hello class. Today I'm going to do a couple of examples with you to get you started on your worksheets for today. Alright, so the first one, 1 through 4 is just polynomial division by monomial. So remember when we do the polynomial division by monomial, you just set this up like a regular division and divide everything in the parentheses by this term here, the divisor. Okay, so I'm going to work this out. It's going to be 18x to the 4th divided by 9x cubed plus 5x cubed divided by 9x cubed plus 3x squared divided by 9x cubed. Okay, so now we're going to do 18 divided by 9 is 2. Okay, x, you have 4 on top and 3 on the bottom. So if you think about that, that would be like x all over 3 of them. 3 cancel and have 1 remain, so I'm going to have 2x. Alright, the second one, 5 divided by 9 does not divide out, so I'm going to leave that. My x cubed and x cubed, they cancel. Then I have 3 divided by 9, so we know that's going to be 1/3. I have 2 on the bottom and 2 on the top and 3 on the bottom, so I'm going to wind up with 1 in the bottom. So that would be my answer to number 1. Alright, on 5 through 10, you're going to do division. So I'm going to do the example number 5, and we're going to do synthetic. So first thing I do is make sure I set x equal to 0. Solve and get x equals -9. Okay. I'm going to put this in my little box on the outside, and then I'm going to check to see if I have my exponents all there. So I have x to the 3rd, x to the 2nd, and x, so I'm good, so I don't need a placeholder. So then I'm going to use my coefficients. I'm going to put 1, 5, -40, -36. Okay, then we're going to start the division process. I bring down my 1. -9 times 1 is -9. 5 and -9 is -4. So I'm going to add multiply -9 times -4, and I get positive 36. -40 plus 36 is -4. -9 times -4 is positive 36, and I get a 0. So my answer to this would be, it was a cube, so it come down to be 1x squared minus 4x minus 4. So this is my quotient, and my remainder is 0. Okay, so you will finish up 6 through 10 in this manner. Okay, so on the back of the paper we have some more questions. This one says the remainder and rational root theorem. So I want you to, the first 4 is about the remainder theorem. So this one says, what does the remainder tell you about the polynomial? Okay, well I'm going to do number 3 because we want to look at this. Number 3 tells me right away I have 3, 2, and I'm missing my 1. And here's my divisor. So I want to know what this means. So what does this tell me? So I'm going to solve this. I'm going to subtract 10, this is 0, minus 10, so I'll get r equals -10. So now I'm going to solve this, put -10 in the box. I need a 1, a 10, 3, 2, I'm missing a 1, so I'm going to put a 0 there and have a -1. Remember, you always have to have your exponents in decreasing order all the way to 1. So I have 3, 2, and I put a placeholder 0. I'm going to do my synthetic division. Bring down the 1. -10 times 1 is -10. 10 and 10 added together is 0. -10 times 0 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. -10 times 0 is 0. -1 is -1. So what this tells me, what my remainder tells me about the polynomial is that r plus 10 is not a factor. -10 is not a solution, but it does tell me that the point -10, -1 is a point on the graph. Now, had I gotten solution of 0 here, that would have told me that the number here was a solution, and it's like if this had been a 0, this would have been, I would have said negative 10, 0 is an x-intercept, and then this was a factor. But since it's not 0, then it's not that, it's just a point on the graph. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do number 4 with you all, just to talk about that. So remember, we would set r plus 8 equal to 0. Subtract 8, I get r equals negative 8. So then I'm going to do my synthetic division, put negative 8. I have 3, 2, 1. I'm good on my coefficients. I don't need a placeholder, so I have 1, 12, 27, and negative 40. So I bring down my 1. Negative 1 times 8 is negative 8. I'm sorry, yes. Then 12 plus negative 8 is positive 4. Negative 8 times 4 is negative 32. I add 27 and negative 32 and get negative 5. Negative 8 times negative 5 is positive 40. Add negative 40 and 40 and I get 0. So now my remainder is 0. That tells me that negative 8 is a solution, okay, or a root. It tells me that it's an x-intercept. And it also tells me, whoops, sorry, no one seeing this, x-intercept. It also tells me that r plus 8 is a factor. And then it tells me that my new, my depressed polynomial, remember that, is r squared plus 4r minus 5. Okay, but basically all you need to know is that when I have a 0 remainder, it tells me that this would be a solution, it's an x-intercept, and then this is a factor. Okay, on 5 through 8, we're going to be fine just stating the possible rational roots, rational zeros for each function. So remember, the rational roots are the factors of p divided by the factors of q. So I'm just going to put, so my factors, this is p, this is q, okay. So my factors of 8p are 1 and 18, 2 and 9, and 3 and 6. Okay, so I have a lot of factors of 18. My factors of q are 1 and 3. Okay, so now just list your factors. You put p divided by q. So they're all plus and minus. So I'm going to have plus and minus 1 divided by 1 is 1. Plus and minus 1 divided by 3 is 1/3. I'm just going to do the plus and minus for all of them. Okay, then plus and minus 2 divided by 1 is 2. 2 divided by 3 is 2/3. Alright, so make sure, let's go ahead and make sure we're putting plus and minus in front of them, all of them, okay? So this is going to be plus and minus. 3 divided by 1 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. I've already listed that. Okay, 6 divided by 1 be plus or minus 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2, and I already have that. So 9 divided by 1 is plus or minus 9. 9 divided by 3 is 3, and I already have that listed. 18 divided by 1 is 18, I'm sorry. And then 18 divided by 3 is 6, and I already have that listed. So here are all my possible rational roots for that polynomial. So finish up 5, 7, and 8 in this manner. Okay, my last example here is going to be number 10. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to state the rational zeros, and then we're going to take it a step further and find the zeros. Alright, so I know that this is my p, this is my q, so I'm going to find the factors. Factors of 21 are 1, 3, 7, and 21. Factors of my q is 1 and 2. So my possible roots are going to equal plus or minus 1 divided by 1, which is 1, plus or minus 1 divided by 2, which is 1/2, plus or minus 3 divided by 1, plus or minus 3 halves, plus or minus 7, plus or minus 7 halves, plus or minus 21, and then plus or minus 21 over 2. Okay, well, I'm sorry, y'all didn't see me write all those out, I'm sorry. Alright, so that's how you do it. Just remember to take the factors of P divided by the factors of Q. Alright, so now that I have these, I need to find and try one. So I'm going to start with, okay, I'm going to try positive 1 here. So I'm going to put a 1 here. I've got all my factors, so I have a 2, a 3, and a negative 2, and a 21. Bring down my 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 and 2 is 5. 1 times 5 is 3. Okay, that is not going to get me a big enough number. So that's not going to work. So that's no. So let's try. I'm going to skip up here and I'm going to try negative 3. So I'm going to give myself, I'm going to try negative 3. I don't know. I have a feeling with this positive and negative, I just might need a negative 3. So I'm going to put 2, 3, negative 2, and 21. Bring down my 2. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Negative, and this gives me negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. This gives me 7. Negative 3 times that is negative 21, and I get my 0. Alright, so now I have this factored. So this tells me that x plus 3 is a factor, so that's one of my factors. Okay, so now I'm going to take this down here into x squared minus 3x plus 7, and we need to solve that. So if I look at 2x squared plus 3x plus 7, 2 times 7 is 14, and factors is not going to get me anything to add this, so we're going to have to do the quadratic formula on this one. Remember the quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we're going to do the inside first. So I have b squared, which would be 9 minus 4ac. I'm sorry, that's all kind of jammed up here. So b squared would be 9 minus 4 times 2 times 7, which gives me negative 47, and that's not going to factor. So my x here is going to want to equal negative b, which is 3 here, so be positive 3 plus or minus I radical 47 all over 2 times 2 all over 4. So here are my two answers along with this one. Now I chose to do this one with you because I knew I saw the answers and I saw it was going to be imaginary. So I don't think number 9 is that difficult, but can remember once you solve and you get a 0, you're going to use the depressed polynomial. You're going to see if you can factor it. We did one like that in class yesterday. If we can't factor, then you have to use the quadratic formula. Alright guys, work on this, and if you don't finish it today, you'll have time tomorrow to finish it. I need you to turn in this sheet and all the other sheets I gave you this week, the blue one. There was one on Tuesday that had 12-8 on the front, 12-9 on the back, and then one from yesterday that had the 4 problems on it. So be good, and I'll see you all on Monday.